It was 19 degrees out on Christmas Eve when my own father shoved me out the back door into the freezing cold, along with a paper plate of cold food. I had spent the last 3 days cooking every single dish for their lavish holiday party. Every pie, roast, and side dish came from my labor and my wallet. Yet when the guests began arriving, my father looked at me with pure disgust and told me to eat in my car because a freshly divorced son depresses the guests. He thought he had total control over me and that I would just take the humiliation and cry in the cold. But he forgot 2 critical details. First, the porch he built his pride on was legally mine. Second, the massive rental van pulling up the driveway packed with thousands of dollars of premium party equipment, tables, and catered wine needed one specific signature to unpack: mine. I spent 6 months recovering from a devastating divorce that left my spirit completely crushed. My parents offered to let me stay in the renovated guest cottage on their property while I got back on my feet. What I did not realize was that they viewed my presence not as a son seeking refuge, but as an embarrassing stain on their pristine social reputation. To earn my keep, I agreed to host, cook, and manage their annual Christmas Eve gala, a party for over 80 wealthy neighbors and business associates. On the morning of the party, I woke up at 5 in the morning. I prepped the turkey, baked 4 different types of fresh pies, crafted delicate appetizers, and set the tables. I did all of this while my father barked orders and my mother complained about the silverware. By 6 in the evening, the house smelled incredible and everything was set to perfection. Just as the first guests began pulling up the driveway in their luxury cars, my father pulled me into the kitchen. He handed me a single flimsy paper plate with a cold roll and a slice of dry ham. He looked me dead in the eye and shoved me toward the back door. He told me that my ex-wife had already spread rumors about our divorce, and having me mingling in the living room would ruin the high-class energy of the party. He explicitly said, "Go eat in your car. A divorcee depresses the guests." I stepped out onto the back porch. The air was biting at 19 degrees. But instead of walking to my car, I sat down right on the porch bench and ate my food. My father peeked out the window and motioned furiously for me to leave. But I held up my hand and said, "My food, my porch, I am staying." He did not know that when I moved in, I signed the lease transfer for the rear plot, which included the porch structure, to help them save on property taxes. At exactly 7 o'clock, a massive commercial rental van pulled into the driveway. Oh, important clients! Right there on the icy driveway in front of the delivery driver and his wealthy friends, my father had to apologize. He admitted out loud that he was wrong, disrespected me, and acted out of pure vanity. I made him sign a written agreement to repay every cent I spent on the event before I put my signature on that clipboard. I spent the rest of the night inside eating warm pie while my parents learned a permanent lesson about respect. Never allow anyone to treat you like an embarrassment when you are the one holding everything together. Pride always comes before a fall, and respect is non-negotiable, no matter who is standing across from you.